Hello, mortals. I'm the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. I've been doing review analysis videos on the third campaign, and someone mentioned that a new trailer was out. And when I looked it up, I also noticed there's a release of Critical Role talking about the voice actors. So I want to go through both those videos, share both of them with you, and react to it. So let's go ahead, first of all, and look up the new trailer to The Legend of Vox Machina. Okay, I hope this is the right video. The Legend of Vox Machina trailer, Red Band trailer. And this series is set to be released on January 28th, so just a few days away. I am so excited, but let's take a look at this trailer.
Evil rises. Our only hope lies in these brave warriors.
What the fuck?
Right. Who else have we got?
I'm sorry, who the hell are you?
We're Vox Machina! We fuck shit up!
Let's go! Come on, work! Stella's here!
You can't be seriously considering them for such a task.
Our reputation is less than stellar. If killing for gold isn't getting us anywhere, maybe we try doing some good this time?
Boring.
Kill Vox Machina!
If this evil persists, the kingdom will starve to death.
I suggest we run right now!
Fuck that. We fight!
The animation is...
You're hurt.
No big question. Is this normal?
Are we done now? I was tempted to pause it to comment on it, but I just wanted to let it play through. I wanted to point out that that bear is actually kind of a character in the series because he's the familiar of, I think she's a ranger, Vexalia, whoever Laura Bailey plays, and became kind of the mascot of the group, if you will. And the little halfling bard, Scanlan, played by Sam Riegel, is one of the funniest characters I've ever witnessed playing.
It's Bigby's hand, Bigby's hand, you know it. Shamona. Boom, clap the sound of your gun, the beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom. That's all. Scanlan singing in the dead of night. Take your broken bones and learn to fight.
Hey now, you're a grog star. Get your axe up and slay. Hey now, you're a grog star. Get your rage on and rage. All Laura's dice are gold. Now a D12 can be rolled.
And that was one of the things that really drew me in, just watching Sam Riegel play Scanlan. I think he got a little too close to Scanlan because later he departed from the group, but that happens. That happens. But it's been many a year since the Vox Machina campaign concluded, and through a Kickstarter campaign, they collected enough money to make, I forget how many episodes. It looks like there's 12 full episodes. I don't know if they're 30 minutes or 60 minutes. But it's such an amazing Cinderella story, and I can't wait to watch it. But I did notice that they also released a video in the Critical Role channel about the voice actor. So let's go ahead and watch that. I'm not really sure what this is about, but it looks interesting. Okay, this is called The Legend of the Cast of The Legend of Vox Machina. So let's take a look.
When we first played through this campaign, we would have never imagined that we would get some of these names to be voices on our show.
I mean, I feel like a broken record when I just keep fanboying over the actors who are playing these characters, but I'm a fanboy for all the actors who are playing these.
Okay, so this is about the entire cast. I thought it was just going to be about the main cast, who were the Dungeons & Dragons players.
Characters. Ah.
Oh no! They're all so good! I can't believe these people are working on the show.
It's an interesting circumstance to be developing an animated series where I created and performed so many of these characters, and then now we have the opportunity to bring them to life. And I should not play all of them. I am genuinely really excited for and have been excited to find the right people to breathe life into these characters in ways that I never could.
Just like the player characters, all of these NPCs that you've seen, they have a piece of Matt in them. They feel.
Yeah, some of the characters he played so well, I just hope he continues playing them. Some that I'm thinking of is the gunpowder merchant, who is just so over the top and hilarious. I hope Matt plays him if he's in this series. And Matt is just such a great voice actor. I'm sure he could play all these parts, but it's going to be interesting to see who he got to take over.
Friends. So when we were casting it, there has been that deep amount of levels of consideration to make sure that they will truly be the exact perfect fit.
Part of us will always want Matt to voice every old man, woman, child, but it's been surreal to hear the guests we've had come in and bring some of these long-cherished characters to life.
One of those NPCs that is beloved by all is Sean Gilmore of Gilmore's
Yes.
Glorious Goods. And after a lot of back and forth with Matt himself was actually the one that was very adamant about allowing someone else to take a shot at this beloved character.
I wanted to make sure that his importance to the story was given the care that it deserved.
We really wanted to find somebody who is funny and still full of life, and I think we found him.
Sunil Malhotra has done an incredible job of portraying Gilmore.
Sean Gilmore is, in my imagination, a naughty, sexy, mischievous cat. If he's not selling his wares, he's selling himself.
Sunil brings playfulness, charisma, respect.
I feel very close to Gilmore. Just full of energy and life and verve. That is like hand in glove for me.
Is that in
He's
his
bringing
closet?
a very unique
Yeah, that looks like he's in a closet doing his voice acting. Not going to ask. I mean, this is the era of COVID, so people have to do what they have to do. But by the way, if I didn't mention it before, the entire Vox Machina cast, or the players of the original Dungeons & Dragons game, are voice actors. And so I guess they know other voice actors. I'm not that familiar with real actors, much less voice actors, so I guess I can't really follow their excitement on seeing some of these names, but I hope they're going to give us little teasers of what they sound like, because I'm into that.
Flair and passion to the role, and is really good at hooking a finger under Vax's chin still.
What we ended up with was enough of Matt's version of the character that we still recognize him as the Gilmore that we fell in love with, but this new spin, a new take that has an authenticity that we could not have gotten if Matt had played the character.
The voice really hits everything that you want out of Gilmore. I'm quite pleased.
Oh, they're not going to give us a sample?
Exandria is such a broad, diverse, crazy place filled with all kinds of voices from around the realm. And to populate that with voice actors who aren't just the main 8 cast members of Critical Role was always a big goal of ours, to make this world feel expansive and real.
This show is a great big stew of unbelievable casting choices and people that you have been waiting for and knew were going to be part of it.
We are blessed with choice when it comes to extremely talented people that happen to be friends of ours. And so there have been opportunities in the series to have people like Kari Payton.
Not unfamiliar to Critical Role fans for his portrayal as Shikasta or in Undeadwood. Sovereign Uriel is a huge part, which meant that we needed a huge voice Kari Payton was someone that we turned to for that, and he delivered instantly. He has a level of regality to his voice that you just can't ignore.
He just brings so much weight and integrity to Uriel and gives it even more character than I would have imagined.
We're trying with some of the casting to make sure that everybody you want to hear who's been a part of the family sneaks in there every now and then. Felicia Day is a perfect example of someone you will hear rattling around Tal'Dorei.
You'll hear her doing her level best to defend Amon against its enemies in a few of the early episodes.
For Amon, as one!
Felicia Day, by the way, is one of the founders of Greek and Sundry. She's been in I guess she's like a popular character actor, usually plays nerdy girls, and she's fantastic. She's a lot of fun. Oh, she was on the Guild, but of course my favorite thing she was ever on is Dr. Horrible's sing-along, which is still amazing. Okay.
Not be here without Felicia Day. She took a chance on us, she saw the possibility, and we knew that we wanted to use her.
We also have people that we have known and love, such as Bobby Hall.
Okay, we'll take you in, but the bear waits outside.
Good old Bobby Hall got to play some guards in some of the earlier episodes.
He blew us away. He was phenomenal.
Also stepping up for a character favorite from the Vox Machina campaign is Eugene Bird as Jarrett. Jarrett got a new role in this show. He is now a captain of the Arms of Amon in the animated series.
I think Jarrett is one of the coolest characters in the campaign.
Jarrett is the kind of guy that you need to prove it to him. You need to prove it to him more than a few times.
Eugene is like such a wonderful human being and such a wonderful person. He was in Gears of War with me, and I was so excited when he was cast.
General Krieg is a character from our early home game days that some fans may not be super familiar with, but he did reside on the Council of Tal'Dorei, and we had to turn to a big voice for his character.
Hello, my name is David Tennant, and I'm playing General Krieg.
Okay, I know this guy.
David Tennant's in our show? What?
Being able to bring him on board to bring an NPC like
Holy
Krieg to
shit.
life, a pre-stream NPC. So he really is the one that brings it to life for the community as well for the first time.
I can't believe you made it out alive.
He was so excited to be part of this project because he had seen the path that it took.
I think it's fantastic. I think this is how all shows should be pitched. They should all start in somebody's front room and end up on television. Why not?
Knowing what that character is going to be required to do, David was fantastic to work with.
We've also had guest appearances by Tony Hale.
Of Veep fame is our Fence. He transformed into this slimy, scheming Fence so brilliantly.
Playing the head cleric is Anjali Bhimani. Her dulcet tones matched perfectly with the character. Don't want to forget Cassandra DeRollo, sister of Percy, played by Esme Creed Miles. The Tavern Keeper, which was a fan-created character, voiced by Mason Alexander Park, who was incredible. They knocked it out of the booth. The goddess voice of the Everlight is Tracy Toms. Incredible voice, incredible performer.
And One Punch Man himself, Max Middleman, as Desmond, the coachman for the devious Briarwoods.
Bryn, who is a brand new character to the series, is voiced by Stacey Raymond. Also in the Whitestone crew as Keeper Yenin, we have Gina Torres.
Your first take of her is really someone of great calm and spirituality, but she has a much greater agenda. She also has a couple of tricks up her sleeve, which make her a badass.
When it came to the character of Archibald Desnay, we made some changes to the character overall and also wanted to push this young rebel leader with a voice print that we thought would do it justice. We're big fantasy fans, so again, in Shooting for the Moon, we reached out to Dominic Monaghan, and he said yes.
Archibald is a kind of
voice?
buccaneering, swarthy man of short stature. He tends to let his fists and his axe do the talking.
He just sounds like such a badass dwarf.
Then we need to make our next move count. Gather every able-bodied fighter in Whitestone.
But we have a hobbit on our show. It's amazing.
Also, Stephen Root. We are huge fans of his, from everything from Office Space to Barry.
Wow.
The way that he chews and works with his
amazing.
words gave a whole new shape to the character of Anders.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, you're wasting time.
Vedmeyer also cuts an extremely intimidating profile And we knew with a half giant of his size, we needed a voice to match it. You can't go wrong with Royer McCann, the Hound from Game of Thrones. Dr. Anna Ripley is another one of the Briarwood henchmen that we knew we needed to bring to life. And Kelly Hu does an incredible job of that.
Don't play dumb. It won't end well for you.
God, Kelly is a villain.
It's a really, really sharp performance.
So two of the NPCs that obviously jumped to our mind in the beginning was Lady Allura Vysoren and obviously Lady Kima of Vord. Big shoes, big characters, beloved by all.
Oh,
and
I remember
we quickly
that,
turned to an angelic voice from Game of Thrones, Indira Varma, for Lady Allura Vysoren.
She has this grace and this prim quality to her.
I must object, Sir Finns. We don't even know what the creature is. Demon? Elemental? And how do you propose we capture it?
She was able to deliver this very delicate, soft, but powerful dialogue.
I love you, Matt. I love your voice as Allura, but it's so amazing to hear the woman come to life.
And then her partner in crime, Kima of Vord, played by the incredibly funny Stephanie Beatriz.
She has just the perfect cadence and the perfect deadpan delivery and just nails it with her total disdain for the entire group of Vox Machina.
She's large and in charge, even though she's under 4 feet tall.
Stephanie is a fantastic badass of the utmost variety.
Playing a badass is an internal thing. It is about the space that you've decided that you take up. It isn't about how small or big you are.
She just got it immediately and sounds exactly like I pictured Kima sounding.
While I miss Matt as Lady Kima, I'm pretty happy with who we got.
Another immensely talented voiceover actress, the illustrious Grey Griffin. She is our Delilah Briarwood.
Villains, I've been playing them for decades, and they're just so deliciously wonderful to play.
Delilah is a very complicated villain.
I liken her to sort of like a big cat.
And if you're watching
I'll kill
campaign
you when I'm
3,
feeling like it, but right now I'm just having fun.
there's a callback.
She grasped so many facets of the subtlety and that brimming intensity and threat, while still keeping that cordial, presentery upper crust.
She relishes in the villainous aspect, but she really gets the heart of Delilah.
She does do horrible, horrible things, but it's all in the name of love, so you have to root for her just a little bit.
We also have the talented Darren DePaul joining us as Kyrian Stonefeld.
Oh, he looks familiar.
He's grotesque, he's evil, he's disgusting, he is a mess. So I'm sure we're like, of course, Darren. He's disgusting, he's evil, he's a mess.
Oh.
We've got to make it him.
Darren is
He was a guest star on one of the
not
campaigns.
convinced as human. He can make creatures come out of him that don't really make sense.
Nobody's going to get into that part of the basement of their voice like Darren can.
Death to the Derolers! There's the great joy in playing someone who just doesn't give a damn.
Watching this universe come to life, it's bigger and more complex than I even imagined.
These are adult stories, adult themes, and because it's animated, it means that you can do so much more.
Anything that you can think of, anything that you can dream up, that can be brought to life in the world of animation.
Who would have thought that we would get to tell these stories in this medium, and people aren't ready for how vibrant and exciting it looks.
It's very like those cartoons that you watched as a kid. It kind of reeks of nostalgia, but with swear words. And what could be better?
It feels like our little group is just starting to expand and grow.
For many, many years, this was truly a world that only existed in a handful of people's imagination.
It feels like these characters that we have lived with for years now have been given new life.
The fact that there are all these critters who are invested in this means that, it needs to be seen, it needs to be made.
This is because of you, and it almost brings tears to my eyes. It's kind of an amazing thing.
Indulge and engage with this moment that you helped create, because without you, it would not have been.
Knowing that the Legend of Vox Machina was creator made from top to bottom, there's a certain magic to that I don't think you can get anywhere else.
People say stuff like, this is your world, you created this stuff. Like, I, to a degree, helped to facet it, but I am one of many storytellers in this. Me and all the players at the table, and the community that watch this, and all these artists, developers, and designers. This is a continued expansion of that collaboration, and collaboration is key. This isn't my world anymore. This is our world.
Wow. I cannot wait to see this new animated series, Legend of Vox Machina, January 28th, Amazon Prime. The one thing that I think David Tennant mentioned was about the rough language. And in any D&D campaign, there is a certain amount of regression into adolescent humor. It doesn't matter how old you are when you're playing, but there can be this sort of regression to humor that may not be appropriate or that you may not say in your everyday life because it's crude or rude or silly. And I think they're keeping some of that in the animated series, so that's going to be interesting. Let me know what you think of this upcoming animated series in the comments below. If you don't know, I've been doing analysis episode by episode of Campaign 3, analyzing the game or the campaign through the lens of story as I might be reading a book. If you're interested in that or interested in book reviews, please subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell. Until we meet again, may all the books you read and the campaigns you play in and their adaptations be blessed.